Good evening, everybody. Mr. HJW coming at you. I'm currently at the Fentus residence in the Germiston area. And I must say that I've met a wonderful individual, goes by the name of Carl. Carl, thank you for your time and thank you for making time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Carl, I haven't broadcasted in a while. And I've just decided that this evening, I'm visiting you and thank you for the invitation. That, I should get into the thick of things. You've got a wonderful story that you've shared with me, and we're going to go into much detail as far as that is concerned at a later stage when we have more time. But one thing that we discussed this evening is the world that you find you currently in. I'm very much keen to understand how your world differs from mine. Um, we spoke about the fact that at a very young age, you discovered that you are different from the normal child at school. Can you give us more detail as far as that is concerned?
Yeah, so when I was a child, when was growing up, I knew I was gay. Um, it never really, how do I explain this? It never really occurred to me that I was different. I just knew I was attracted to men when I was 6, maybe 7 years old. And as I grew older, I started to understand that society views being gay as being completely different. And that's kind of when I started realizing I had to put up a pretense of who I was in fear of judgment.
Talking about judgment, I need to be honest with the world. I'm coming from a place where I used to judge people that were different, particularly when they're gay or lesbian, right? We are currently speaking about the LGBTQ community. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But, the moment when you deviate from the norm, and especially when it comes to music, for instance, you would find that certain people listen to a certain genre of music. I would come visit you, you might be listening to a certain genre of music, maybe say classical music, whereas I might be into hip hop, for instance. And then I would feel very much uncomfortable sitting in the presence of such music. In your case, if I can call it that way, your orientation is different. How did you, I mean, that the world judges people who have this orientation that are basically dubbed as being gay. How did you deal with the issue when it came to your parents?
So I grew up in a household where both my parents are gay. So it was never very difficult for me to. I never viewed myself as being wrong, or I never felt guilty about who I was because I grew up in a loving home with parents who accepted me. So it was never really hard for me to deal with um, people's judgment. My opinion or my philosophy in life is that other people's opinions really don't matter. I do understand that everybody's viewpoints in life is different, but at the end of the day, we have the option to choose where we place our attention and what we consume. And at the end of the day, one of the biggest things that I learned from my parents growing up is that other people's opinions really don't change. It's all about who I think I am. And for me, I never felt like I was living a life that was sinful or morally wrong. It never affected me the the way that it might affect other people because I grew up in a household that accepted me and loved me for who I was.
Now, I'd like you to take us back to you're done with school, you're studying further, as you alluded to earlier. Primary school. Take us through. I mean, you discovered at a very young age that you are different, you are gay. How did the kids at school treat you?
So when I was in primary school, I never really understood my sexuality that much. I didn't view it as being different. I just knew I was attracted to men, and it was very natural for me. And I never really spoke about it on primary school because it didn't affect me. But when I got to high school, I came out when I was 15 years old. I came out when I was 15 years old in grade 9, and I just sent a WhatsApp message to everybody on my contacts list, and they accepted me for who I was. I was in Wishkul Westcliff, and I found that a lot of people, especially in today's modern age, a lot of people identify as queer or part of the LGBTQ community. So it was a lot easier in today's age for people to accept me, and I found that in high school I wasn't really judged that much or had any issues regarding being accepted.
That is great. As a straight person, I'm being judged on a daily basis. I find it very difficult. I found it difficult at school level. I wasn't really accepted at school level. There was jealousy, even with my sports team. I used to play soccer. I'm an adult. I turned 51 yesterday, and I'm still experiencing challenges at my workplace where there's a lot of judgment being held against my person. And you're saying to me, in a world of, let's say, where predominantly and most people are regarded as straight people, right? You are saying to me that you were never judged at school level. That is quite surprising to me to hear that. But with that said, I need to come to the understanding, why is it important? Why does the world expect gay people or the LGBTQ community plus community to come out? What does that mean? I find it difficult to understand that. Why was it important to come out?
That's also
Where were you? Were you locked up? Explain that to me.
So the way like I mentioned earlier, the way I came out was I just sent a message with a simple phrase, "I'm gay," to everyone in the contact list, and I don't really understand that. For me, the way I feel about being homosexual is it's very natural for me, and I don't understand the need to come out. But I think that the reason we are supposed to come out is because society deems us different or unnormal or unnatural. And for me, I really don't like that coming out is such a big thing.
Okay.
I feel like we should just be ourselves and be able to live in a world where we don't fear judgment. And if we're gay, or if we're bi or lesbian, that can be a normal life where it can just be accepted as normal.
I hear you. I hear you. I've been working and I've been in the presence, in the midst of gay individuals, my employees, that, or some of my peers are gay. And what I've picked up is that gay people in particular are very hardworking. Share with us what you can bring to the table. What are you currently busy with?
So I'm currently studying English literature and creative writing at UNISA. I'm a second year student, and I also have a novel that I'm working on. It's called Starstruck. Starstruck is a novel about exploring gay romance and the difficulties that come with being in the public spotlight. The story is about Alexander Prince, who's just an average university student. He's kind of invisible at school, introverted, he doesn't want to have anything to do with the world, and circumstances lead to one another, and he ends up falling in love with global pop sensation Austin Wilson. And the novel explores themes of being insecure and trauma that was experienced as a child, what these characters go through, and it explores the emotional development where they can come to the point where they can accept, okay, I'm gay and I'm ready to tell the people in my life about it. And that's something that Austin, who's a global pop sensation, struggled with. He fears judgment from his fans and worry how it's going to affect his career. And throughout the novel, he goes through a lot of experiences that he comes to the conclusion that he wants to experience unconditional love.
Wow. So when can we expect this book, Carl?
The first manuscript is done, but I'm still working on it because I am studying creative writing. So as I'm studying further, I'm always improving my writing. So I would say, roughly somewhere between the next 3 to 5 years, I will graduate with my degree, and then I will feel confident enough in my writing abilities to put it out there in the world.
Impressed. Carl, what does one say to the young, or the let's talk about the youth that are finding themselves in the same situation? They discovered that they're gay, because I believe gayness, or we have our different perceptions as to what gay is. Certain people would say you choose to be gay, others go through trauma, right? The straight people out there, what would you say to the straight people, especially in particular the young child who is going through, uncertainty as far as their sexuality is concerned? You've been through it. What do you say to that youngster that is so fearful to divulge that he is gay?
Well, the first and foremost, the thing that I think is the most important is to first ensure your own safety. And if you're in a household that isn't accepting of who you are, or your circumstances don't allow it due to safety reasons, I would say first and foremost do prioritize your safety. Because if you're not safe, then you're not going to be able to be yourself and enjoy life. And then secondly, just be yourself, because who you are is beautiful to the world. And one of the most important things that I learned was that I don't care what other people think about me. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but at the end of the day, the only person's opinion who matters is my own. And I love myself who I am, and the most fundamental thing is to embrace who you are, accept who you are, and only when you feel ready should you come out and tell the people who love you and support you. But first and foremost, just make sure that you're in a safe environment to be able to do so.
Well, before I finish this interview, you have a sibling.
Mm.
When you divulged to him, I believe he's straight.
Yeah.
What was his reaction toward you?
Growing up, I didn't really have a very close relationship with my brother. But my brother also grew up in a household where both our parents are gay, so it's not a foreign concept. But one thing was that when I did come out to my entire family and told my brother, was that he accepted me. He didn't think it was weird or anything. He just accepted me for who I was. There was no issues about that. He just accepted me for who I was.
I need to understand at this stage, are you happy as at this age? As you said, there were no judgment on your person in the past. How regularly do you come out of the house to go and socialize with other people? Do you have a lot of friends? What's going on?
So I'm very happy where I am with my life at the moment. I enjoy what I do. I'm also a drag performer. I go by Bella
I need to know more about that. I said this is the last question, but now that you mentioned drag, please give us more.
So I was the first person who ever went in full drag to Matric Farewell. And the reason I did that was back in 2022, was I really wanted to push the norms of what is expected, because no one has ever gone to a matric farewell in full drag. So I really like to push the boundaries
Okay.
and make something the new norm. And why I enjoy doing drag is because it brings confidence to me. It's like an alter ego. I can fully be myself. And when I go out to the gay clubs, I don't regularly go out, but my closest friends are drag queens and are part of the LGBTQ community. I go to Babylon, which is a gay club in Sandton, and those people are just like my family. I don't go there a lot, but I feel accepted and I feel loved by the community. And that's another thing, is that even though the people might not accept you, there will not everyone will accept you, but there will be the people who will accept you and love you, and you just need to find your tribe and you just need to find your family. For me, it's drag queens. The people that I'm the closest with are drag queens, and being part of that community, I know what it means to be loved unconditionally and have really good friends who will always be there for you. And drag, by being part of such an active LGBTQ community, going to the gay clubs and going to drag shows, it's really allowed me to connect with people who are like me and who are like-minded with me. You just need to find your tribe and the people that you connect with, and that's also going to make the journey a lot easier.
Which brings me to your alter ego. What is your alter ego?
So every day when I'm Carl, I'm very introverted. I don't really like talking a lot. I'm very shy. I'm very withdrawn from being social because I do suffer from social anxiety. But when the wig comes on, and when the makeup comes on, and when Bella Benri is someone who's very important to me. She is somebody who's just fierce. She's confident. She doesn't take shit from anyone. She is just very confident in herself. She stands up for herself, and she's someone who just pursues everything in life she wants to, and she doesn't have any ounce of doubt in herself.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
I need to tell the world that many years ago, when I was at primary school, I was in a situation where I almost got raped by a man, and so often I have reflections of that day, and I still see the person's face in front of me. And from that day, in actual fact, prior to that day, I was very judgmental when it came to the gay community. But after that happened to me, it's very close. After that happened to me, my whole perception changed towards the gay community. What I've learned is that one should not be judgmental, because anything can happen. It could have been otherwise for me. Whether it was a choice, whether it happened from birth, it's got nothing to do with me. God, I want to say to you that I accept you for who you are, and thank you. You're a lovely person. I know you for quite some time, but tonight was the first time that we spoke in detail, and I know you better. And continue with the good work, and be rest assured that in my eyes I see you, and I want to say to you that there's no judgment here. So it's nice knowing
Thank you so much.
and thank you for coming
It's a pleasure.
onto the Mr. SJW podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl Venter. Please remember this name. This person, this individual is going places. I can't wait for your book. I am Mr. SJW, signing out.